you go. It's a terrific Thursday, maybe a little bit of crazy Thursday. That's okay, right? We have those crazy Thursdays. Anyway, it is Celebrity Home Loans in the house, and I have Dennis Baxter and Autumn Scott Hall. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Happy Thursday, right?
Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
is Thursday.
A little chillier today than.
I'm not mad.
You're not mad about it?
I'm not mad. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be low humidity today. Excited about that.
Yeah. Low humidity, I'll take it. And did you see the clouds moving and everything going on and going on and all about the sun's there, but we just got to get all these clouds out of the way, right? So
Yeah.
it's like we just got to get that.
I'm so lost right now.
I know.
Are we
Follow
still talking
me.
about the weather?
Yes, we are
Yes,
talking
we
about.
are.
I was a little. The weather confused me yesterday because we were supposedly under this tornado watch, and I'm like, the sun is shining. Like, what
But
is
you
going
have to
on?
remember, yeah, it is. It's above. It's above us.
I think it's a lie.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Do you really?
I think the weather
Well,
is
I
a lie,
was
just
getting-
like the Earth is flat.
Oh, here we go. All
Oh
right.
my gosh.
Oh, here we go.
I'm
That
just
opens up.
kidding. I'm just
No,
kidding.
it's you know what I mean.
It's Thursday morning.
But no, really, that was. I got a lot of messages about that too because I was putting the weather reports up.
Yeah.
But they really were. There were things going on, but it was above us.
It
We
was.
just didn't see it. And it
According to the
possibly-
radar, it was above us.
Yeah.
But they did delay one of the games for 30 minutes last night, so I guess there may have been some thunder.
And there were some lightning and some. Actually, I think there were some lightning warnings. Possibly.
I didn't see or hear it, but
Yeah.
supposedly it was there.
Down my way there was. They were popping up. I live in the southern part of the county.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were popping up. There was some showers and clouds. No thunder and lightning. And it was most of it went south.
Listen, I think the weather has menopause.
I think
Oh,
Dennis
absolutely.
lives in the land of milk and honey over there. I think that's it. A little bit of showers. A little bit of
Yeah, I don't know. I'm telling you this, though. I think our seasons have lost their minds.
I don't even know. I think it's such a gray anymore. There's not black and white. Like we don't have. It's hard to have like.
No, and it has rained forever. I'm so tired of rain.
But hang on, here it comes. If we didn't need it, we wouldn't be getting it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm not
Okay,
tired of,
okay.
what I'm not sick of is our sponsors who are so
Very good.
fabulous.
Good segue.
Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Upland, Celebrity Home Loans, LLC, NMLS 227765, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. We are an equal housing lender. Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Curley Wealth Management.
Yay! Thank you to our great sponsors. Very proud of our sponsors. But no matter what, it's all good, and we know that the ball games happened last night, and I know they're trying to get them all in. And spring it's really difficult for spring sports.
Spring sports are hard.
They're very difficult, and also for
Outdoor.
track field,
Yeah.
all of that, all of the above.
Any outdoor sports, I think,
Golf.
are hard.
Well, it's one of your
Tennis,
heaviest rain
yeah.
periods of the year.
And it goes into summer.
And it goes into summer and dries out.
There are no more April showers bringing May flowers.
No, yeah.
April,
We're
May, and
past
June
that.
showers.
We're past that. We're due,
And then we're going to be July and August, and it's going to be hot and dry.
maybe.
Yeah, tell us really how it is, Autumn, for sure. All right, we're on to the 9th day of June. It's a Thursday. Today is Donald Duck Day. I love Donald
He's my
Duck.
favorite.
How could you not? You know what I mean?
I will take
Okay.
Donald Duck
Yes.
over Mickey Mouse any
My-
day.
My mom always said Donald was so misunderstood. I mean, like he. was
Well, I mean,
trying
you
to-
can't understand anything he says.
I know, and that's why. But he's like really got things that he's got an agenda. I mean, he's trying to do things,
Yeah.
but he's so misunderstood. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So Donald Duck.
He also may have anger issues, which probably is why I relate to him so well.
Man, all that just went over my head. It's been too long since I watched it.
You don't watch. Oh, you gotta go back and watch Donald Duck. Yeah, and then he's got Daisy, and of course little Daisy's always in dresses and heels. Gotta love
yeah.
Daisy. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I relate to her.
Yes, I can see that actually.
Yeah. I'd be the Daisy. Yeah. National Earl Day. You know, anybody named Earl?
Earl?
I think of the song.
Wasn't your dad's name Earl?
No.
Oh,
What he does? Well,
why do I think it was Earl?
I have no idea.
Me
He just
neither.
stumped me.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Ooh, National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day.
Oh, awesome.
Let me just tell you this.
Yum.
I had strawberry rhubarb for the first time last week. Gina Hoskins made some. And, sometimes I meander over to City Hall, see what's going on.
I would too.
And, well, she's a fabulous baker.
Ooh.
And she always loads me up with goodies. I don't complain. The first time I had rhubarb, and I don't hate it.
No, is it good?
It is. I was
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she had rhubarb cobbler and rhubarb cake.
And
Like
you didn't
the
call me over there?
You were gone. You were in Florida. I don't
Oh.
want to hear it.
Yeah. Now cobbler though, man, that's
It was. I wish I had vanilla ice cream.
yeah, that would be.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I always keep an eye out on Gina's Facebook page to see what goodies she's bringing, so I can meander over there.
I would too.
I do.
I didn't know you had to.
No, we
What's
didn't.
this,
No,
I
Gina?
got
no,
my
it's okay.
fork. I just happened to bring my fork. You know, they always
What?
say bring a fork with you.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like what? Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
sure, I'll
we
take
can
some.
do this.
Sometimes I share. I did not share that. Like the last time I was over there, she had something delicious, and I did share it with the girls, but I did not share the strawberry rhubarb.
See, I'm not. I have trouble with that too. I mean, it's, yeah, I'm, yeah. I think of friends, which, but, you know, Joey don't share food.
Joey don't share food. Yeah. Joey does eat food off the floor though.
Yes, he does. Remember that
Yeah.
pie? Yeah.
3-second rule.
There you
Hey.
go.
3-second rule.
Well,
It
and
can't
I
be
think
extended.
I think a lot of times they put the strawberries with the rhubarb because of rhubarb's kind of harder to find. It kind of makes it a
Well, I'll tell you why. Gina told me.
Oh.
It's like a sweet tart.
sweet tart. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Because your strawberries are sweet, your rhubarb's a little
Tangy.
tart.
Tangy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
fantastic.
what's made about this. It is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhubarb pie.
I've always been scared because I've heard it's poisonous if it's not cooked right.
Uh,
But I've also heard that about asparagus. I don't know if those are facts or if those are, you know.
well, remember how?
Those are myths.
Yeah.
Misconceptions. We got myths and misconceptions.
That's right.
Later today, talking about
Yeah, we have to do factor crap. You know, just like with.
Factor. All
Just
right,
like
we
with
need to write
persimmons.
this down.
Yeah, just like with persimmons, you know, there are certain parts of people
Yeah.
that do not believe that you need. Not in our area, because we all eat persimmons.
Fun fact: Autumn hates persimmons.
Persimmon
Yeah,
pudding.
I don't like it.
Oh, Autumn, I question that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like it. No. Dennis likes persimmon pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a persimmon fan, but I like persimmon.
This is World APS Day.
APS. What's APS?
APS, I'm not for sure. Let's see here.
World APS. Autumn, you're not using your phone to look that up.
I,
You're really behind this.
Antibody syndrome. Okay?
antibody.
Yeah. Antibody syndrome.
Where's the P come in?
It's I don't know. It doesn't say that. I don't know.
Body.
This is also World Writers' Rights Day. Writers' Rights Day.
I'm a fan of writing.
I know.
I would have been an author in another life.
Would you really?
Yeah, but it doesn't pay the bills right now, so you know, writing that's
So
hard to crack into.
So we possibly could see you like with the bestseller, right?
I would love to have a bestseller.
I would too, and I
How
would
the
come.
World is Flat, 2022.
I would actually come to your book signing.
I would love to. Actually, I am a writer. I do write.
Really?
Yeah.
When do you have time?
At night when the kids are. Actually, I go to bed with
What
my
are you writing
kids.
about now?
I journal almost. Not every day, so I can't say every day, but I journal probably 4 times a week.
I love that.
I'm a big fan of journaling.
And I love that. I love that. And that's kind of it's kind of fun to go back.
Yeah.
And of course, your kids will always love to go back. You know what I mean?
So I was talking to a friend one time because my journal is I'm a big fan of
Dear
journaling.
diary.
No, it's not a diary.
Dear diary. Today I was on coffee club.
Yeah, no. That's because I also talk to myself. But a friend of mine was like, that was one of their greatest, because I used to throw them away when they were full. Like I never kept them.
What?
Yeah, I never did. Why? I just throw it away. Whatever. So she told me when her grandmother died, she found their diaries, and so like that was a treasure for them.
Yeah.
And one thing that was really interesting to them was she's like, in all the journals that my grandma wrote, there's never anything negative. Like she was always just positive, and it was nice to see what she thought of the kids and the grandkids. And I'm like, not mine. Mine's gonna be. Now that I keep mine, mine's gonna be like, oh look, this is the day I got on my mom's nerves. Like, I like these little sassholes.
Well, it's funny because my mom's passed, but like if I find like her penmanship was beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay?
mine changes.
Okay, well, and to read like she didn't necessarily all of the things that she wrote. She did write, but like just like her dates that she put down, like different events coming up, different, and I love to see those.
Yeah,
I love to see things like that.
I did actually probably Max will be 12 this year, so probably about 13 years ago, I did write a book, and it was
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was about 3/4 of the way finished because I love to read. Like, I'm a reader, and I read some of these, and I'm like, I can do better than that. So, so I did write, and it was on the thumb drive, and I was in the computer lab at IUS,
Okay.
and I had also some schoolwork on there, and I left the thumb drive on the computer, like in the computer,
Oh, man.
and of course it got taken, and so I lost this whole book that probably someone out there has found and finished and published, and
Probably. Yeah.
It's a bestseller now.
it probably.
Well, like everybody's now, you can go back and you can try to sue.
I'm going to. I'm reading all the books so I can find my book that I wrote.
So, there you go.
And
I will find it.
yeah,
Names have been changed.
yeah, probably not. Probably not. They probably used my same names. So, but I just never sat. It was a lot of work, and then you have kids and life, and you get busy, and I never sat down and did it again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times when you have kids, life stops.
Yeah.
Until they get up and get out.
And I'm not mad. I mean, like I was telling guys yesterday, our baseball season's over, and I still find myself on the baseball field.
I know.
Cheering for the teams.
You are dedicated. There you go.
So,
That's awesome. All right, we're going to jump in with Celebrity Home Loans, but before we do, real quick, I just thought this was kind of a fun thing. Top awkward task that we pay someone to do.
Oh, please.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, would you pay a locksmith after you locked yourself out? 31% would pay for it instead of breaking in or staying with someone for the night.
Well, here's the deal. Your car or your house?
It looks like it'd be your house because you'd be staying with someone for the night. So I'm going to guess your house.
Well, as somebody who locks their keys in the house a lot, I can relate to this. Just put in one of the locks that you key in the code.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about you, Dennis? Would you
The
pay
battery goes dead.
would you pay a
No, it
locksmith?
doesn't.
Now, I have had to pay a locksmith before, and I tell you right now, that's horrible.
Well, when
Oh, yeah.
Justin Hall is your husband and everything is locked up tighter than Fort Knox,
Yeah.
you have to either wait for him to get home. There's no breaking in.
Yeah.
Or you have the man put on the keypad, and I never lock myself out. Well, actually, I do, but I have the key code, so.
Well, I actually left my keys in my car one time with running. And I had to go to work. I was at home. So, yeah.
Is it called the locksmith?
I went to work.
And then if you
And
call
that's
the
it,
police, it's free.
Wait, you left your car sitting there?
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
was, it
great.
was in the driveway sitting there running. Because they couldn't get there for about 3 hours, and I had to go to work. So I jumped in another vehicle and went to work.
Well, at least the gas will run out. Then
But then you talk about the keypad. So, and this just happened, man, about 6 months ago. So,
Ooh, do tell. We like.
oh yeah, this is
We love a good
gas
story
at $5 a gallon. You can't afford to leave it running that long anymore.
Well, no,
No.
that was just several years ago. But anyway, my little Molly, my little dog.
Yes.
So
I love
we get her
Molly
to go to
dog.
bed. Somebody has to walk her out every single night. She will not go out.
She's
by
high
herself.
maintenance and a little
She's high.
spoiled.
Love
A
that.
little over, you think so?
Oh.
So I always take her out the back door,
Walking
on the
Molly.
porch,
That's a book.
and she only will go out if I go out.
All right. Well,
Janet tries, she doesn't have much luck. She don't have much.
She's Dennis's dog.
So
Daddy's girl.
had the keypads on the doors. Walked out the back door.
You locked the bomb lock, didn't you?
Yeah, it was locked. Door slammed shut. It locked me out on the back porch. It's fenced in out there. I'm in my night sweats,
A vision.
no shoes,
A
no
vision.
socks.
Was it
Everything.
raining?
The fence was chained. The gate was chained and locked. On the outside, I could never remember the code to it. So, I'm thinking I'm beating on the door, yelling in the house, but in a locked cabin, you can't hear from one end. You can't hardly hear from one room to the next, let alone 2 rooms away.
Daniel can find you in an hour.
And I remembered.
Jenna went to go bone laugh.
So
she wouldn't have made.
It's awfully quiet in
Yeah,
this house.
I like it.
So hanging off the back porch was an old dinner bell I forgot about. And I looked up here and I'm like, hey, there's that old dinner bell that she's been having me get down for a long time.
There's a
So I
reason he
reached
didn't.
up- Yeah, it's one of the
Yeah.
great big ones. Them big
Oh,
old farm
no.
bells you can hear all over the neighborhood.
And the neighbors
So-
hated him that night.
Yeah, because I started ringing it. She finally heard it. She goes, what's that going on? And she come out there.
And then Janet locked herself out.
I'm just sitting there thinking,
Yeah. It is straight out there.
That would have been my luck. Like, I would have came out to save him, and then I would have locked us both
So,
out.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, that is true.
That's like a Friends episode.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I can see that. And everybody's out there. Right.
but anyway, yeah, we've all had our days.
Right. Okay, would you repair someone's fence after backing your car into it? 27% said they would.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hire it out.
You would not. You would not pay someone. To
I
do
would.
it
I would do
yourself?
it. Like,
Fix
I
it yourself?
mean, it depends how bad it is. How bad did I destroy the fence?
Or what kind of fence it is. You know
And what kind of fence?
Yeah, that's the big difference. Yeah.
So,
What else
Okay.
you got?
Assemble an IKEA furniture for you after struggling. Pay someone to assemble IKEA furniture for you after struggling to do it yourself. 25% said they would.
I've never been to IKEA, but I have heard that their furniture is ridiculous.
Like how you have to bring it all and put it all.
I'm not-
together like that.
Yeah, no.
That stuff is pretty
Yeah.
tedious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm too stubborn for that. I'm more likely, if I get mad, it's going in the garbage. Actually, no. I'm more the type, I will take it back.
Okay.
I will be like, this is stupid. You will give me my money back. I do not care that the box is destroyed. This is ridiculous.
I just while I'm at the store, just how much to have it assembled.
That's right.
Dennis will.
Well, and that is real
I'm
quick.
cheap.
I do have a fun fact over here at Walmart. They will assemble your grills. So if you have a grill, you buy a grill, and for Father's Day or whatever, they will assemble it all for you.
Will they fill it up with fresh steaks?
I don't know.
You can probably buy them. Justin and I bought the kids a playground. That we have that big outdoor playground.
Oh yeah.
Took us, I don't know, a couple weeks to put together because we did it.
Well, look how long it took you to remodel the house. So a
Hush.
couple weeks on a
It's
place.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I will tell you this because our house is still not finished. That's okay though. We have kids and we're busy people.
Oh.
Our marriage almost did not last. The playground,
That's a
Stuff.
Mary filled it.
Like,
Yeah.
and we have
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the spiral slides.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like, I now used to tell people, if you can make it through remodeling a house, you're fine. No, if you can assemble a playground with your spouse, you can do anything.
There you
We
go.
almost didn't make it.
All right, next one. Remove a bad tattoo. 24% said that they would pay someone to remove their bad tattoo, and then some said they just would deal with it.
Cover it up. Why would you remove it? Just get a cover up.
Cover up. All right. Let's see. Number 5. Fix your kid's hair cutting accident. Like the kids get a bad haircut.
Sure, just bird all thing.
Actually, I
have done that. Too.
I have done that. I
Years
think
ago.
all
Years
kids.
ago.
Actually, the girl's the only one who did, and they couldn't even fix it. So I'm like, just do your best.
Yeah,
20% said they
when
did.
my son was about 5 years old, you know, at that time she did cut it way back really short. Well, I actually put the wrong cover on it. Right down the middle, but he burned it down to the scalp.
I did that to Justin one time and one time only, and he looks really mean bald. Yeah,
We such a guy.
yeah, he looks. Yeah,
How big is that?
and I actually did really good, and I was going to trim his ears. It's the first time I'd ever done it. So this was, you know,
He'd be cool, Paul.
no, he is scary
He would-
bald.
That's what, yeah.
I took it to the side, and so instead of trimming the ear, like I took a whole strip behind his ear, and I was like, he didn't even look in the mirror. He's just like, buzz it all.
There you
Like
go.
he knew. He's like, I know, just buzz it all.
We're just not even gonna.
And
I can't pass it.
take it down.
He was scary.
There you
And Nick, fun fact, Nick wants to be bald. Like every time we take him for a haircut, he's like, make me bald.
Oh wow.
I'm like, you're not going, like, I'll take you down to a 2, but you're not going bald. He's like, I don't want any hair. Just make me bald. I'm like, no.
He wants to look tough.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Makes him a tough
There you
guy.
go.
So,
All right. Let's see here. Go get your stuff after a breakup. 19% said that they would pay someone to do that. To go get their stuff after a breakup.
well, see, I don't give my stuff to people unless I'm invested long term. So, I wouldn't. I'd be like, well, I don't think I would do that.
All right. Would you pay someone to steam clean a friend's carpet after you spilled wine on it?
No, I do that myself.
So,
Yeah.
that's probably the reason I got a
18%
carpet
said they
cleaner in the closet.
Okay. Someone.
First of all, Becky, I don't spill wine.
it's like my coffee. I don't spill coffee. You don't spill wine.
There it is. It
There
took
you
Dennis a second.
Yeah,
Your
I
nose-
got it. I got
Your
it.
nose just grew a little bit.
I don't
I got
spill
it.
wine.
Yeah. Well, I don't spill coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's see here. Steam clean. Got that one. Okay. Pay someone for adult swimming lessons. 17% said they would do that. I think why not? You know what I mean? If you need to learn how to swim and you haven't learned, then it's high time.
I think if by an adult you don't know how to swim, yeah, you probably should go hire somebody.
Yeah, I think it's important to
Just
know.
have water.
And no,
We live in a double landlocked state, but you never know, right? We
It's
had
true.
flooding. We had flooding though in our community.
it's
Remember?
true.
So
Yeah.
It's always
Don't be
good
at the
to
bottom
know.
of the hill. That's what I tell all my friends up north of Flat Country when I moved down here. There's a difference here than there is up there. When it gets
Yeah.
wet and rainy, it floods and takes a while to go away because it's all flat. It takes a while for down here.
It's
When
true.
that rain comes, just don't be at the bottom of the hill. Be at the top. An hour later, you can go to the bottom. You're fine. No problem.
Well,
no problem. Lessons from Dennis there. All right. Buying an embarrassing medication or product. 13% said they would pay someone to do it.
okay, wait. Pay somebody to go get an embarrassing medication. We have HIPAA laws for this purpose.
Or product.
Not me. I put it on there boldly, proudly. Let them know.
All right. Number 10, last one. Lessons on emerging technology like crypto or like.
I just hired someone to do all that stuff.
13%
Yeah, I just stay
said
away
they'd pay
from
for
it.
that. 13% said they would pay for that. There you go. Now you know. Now you know the rest of the story. All right. So those are good. You can talk about it at supper tonight and find out what your fam feels like. All right, let's jump in. We got a lot to cover here this morning, guys. We got to get busy with our reverse mortgage. reverse. Okay, mortgage. So where did we lift off? Where did we lift off?
Where did we lift off?
Lift off.
I wish I were lifted on my way to a tropical vacation. But
She
I'm
wants the
not.
tropics so bad. I know.
Oh, I did make a cilantro lime chicken with a black bean mango compote
Oh,
last night. It
look
was
at you.
delicious.
Oh, and since I talked about this yesterday, for those who listened, I apologize for regoing. But remember we talked about different things. We air fried radishes.
What's that?
Delicious. You got to try it.
Hmm.
It's like you kind of cut them up like a potato and air fry them. And you'll love it.
I'm gonna try that.
Autumn, what was that? Remember that real beautiful salad you made?
That was a Brussels sprout. You were talking about Brussels sprouts
yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a Brussels
Yeah.
sprout cranberry salad. It's
Oh,
delicious.
it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Anyway, reverse
Sorry,
mortgages.
Sorry, we got on the food. Sorry.
Myths and misconceptions. So
Okay.
last week, I think the missing wanted to tie the last two together,
Yeah, she.
and we did.
Miss was
So-
ready to roll it out. Let's get this done. She was
So
like,
we'll
yeah.
back up just a little bit, and then carry it on. So, because the last two do kind of go together on this page. The myth: I can't qualify for reverse mortgage if I have an existing mortgage or other real estate secured debt. Well, that's just a myth. Now, the fact about it is, even if you have an outstanding first mortgage or some other real estate lien, like a home equity loan, tax lien, etc., if you've got a HELOC on it, you still may qualify for a reverse mortgage. The proceeds of the reverse mortgage must first be used to pay off such debts. However, this is a significant benefit as many borrowers use the reverse mortgage loan simply to eliminate their mortgage or home equity loan payments.
Okay, so if you let me just kind of now let's break that down.
Yes.
Okay, so if you do a reverse mortgage and you want to use it to pay down some bills, they actually regulate what the money's being used for, or
No, they don't. Okay,
or
so
allocate, or
all right. So if you have a mortgage presently on your home, or you have a home equity loan, that takes first lien precedence over anything else. So if you put a reverse on it, those type of loans have to be paid first because the reverse mortgage is going to be first lien. It will never go second lien. That's like a first mortgage. If you refinance, so if somebody comes in and refinances and lowers their interest rate and they have a home equity line on there, then the lender with the home equity has to resubordinate back to second position, or we have to pay it off because the first mortgage still got to stay first. But when the first mortgage is paid off, then whatever's in second position moves to first. It's kind of like who's on first, who's on third, and who's on second.
Right.
You know, they all kind of shuffle around for a time in place of another. But you can do a reverse mortgage, take out funds if you have equity and you qualified, and you can pay other debt off. That's your option. You can do with it what you want. So, like right now, say you've got your house paid for, and you've got $20,000-$30,000 worth of charge cards, maybe a car loan. You still got 10 years. No, 10 years. Wow, that's long.
I was gonna say,
But you got another 3 or 4, and the gas has got to where it's at, and it's going higher, and everything else, inflation, and you're just really, and particularly if you're on a fixed income, which most people, senior citizens are, then we can take some equity out of that house, pay those debts off, and get rid of those payments, and you never have to make another payment. Or you can make a payment and free that money back up and use it again, like home equity or revolving credit. So that's where these things come in handy. The thing about a reverse, so rule of thumb, if a house is worth $200,000, then your first mortgage needs to be paid down to $100,000 or less to make it work. Because you got to have room and equity so that interest accrues, there's some place for it to accrue against, which will be the equity in the home. And then as the home increases over time in value, you should never, unless, 2008 is a different scenario because things went backwards on everybody, but home prices over the long run will increase in value 3 to 4% a year, as long as neighborhoods stay pretty decent, unless the neighborhood goes bad, it goes down. So you should never catch up with it. And the theory is, the mathematics, that where the reverse starts, and that amount that you take out, or if you pay a mortgage off and use reverse, you don't have to make payments, then it should never run out of that. If it does, then it's an FHA insured mortgage, and the insurance pays for it because of the That's kind of where that goes. So, right now is a good time to look into them, particularly if you're on a fixed income and you've got some debt and you need to free up some income. There's some options there. But just because you have a mortgage and you have other debt doesn't mean you can't. You can get it. And then the next thing here that kind of rolls into it, because in the next question that everybody asks and all, my heirs won't inherit my home. Well, that's just a myth. In reality, borrowers can leave their home to the heirs when the borrowers pass away. The heirs may either pay off the balance due on the reverse mortgage, principal plus accumulated interest, and keep the home, or sell the home and use the proceeds to pay off the reverse mortgage. If they sell the home, any remaining equity in the reverse mortgage is repaid, their heirs keep it. So, if you need to free up some money, you can do that even if you got a mortgage on it. As long as you're down there in the ratios and the works. And that's age, the math calculation takes into your age. So somebody 69, 70 years old can get more out of their home than someone 62 because there's less life left for it to accumulate and outrun itself. If that makes sense. So the older you are,
The more you can borrow.
the more you can borrow. And you don't have to pay it back. Now, when life gets to the point, and this is where a lot of stuff gets confusing. So when you get to the point that you cannot live in that house, now when I say you can't live in the house, I'm saying, something health-wise creates you to be in a nursing home. Inevitable, we all pass away one day. It does not mean that you can live in the house and somebody can live with you and take care of you. So you can still live there.
Right. Or if you have a short term, you have a 6-week rehab. Like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't count because you're going back home.
Right. The idea is 6 months. So if you have to live outside of the home for more than 6 months, and by then you know whether you're ever going to be able to go back or not, then the term of the mortgage comes due, and then your options are, if somebody in the family wants to buy it, they want to take over, and they just pay the mortgage, we'll get a loan, take the mortgage over, they can buy the home. If there's equity left, it goes back into the estate or back into that person's account. If there's nobody in the family who wants it, then they just help you make arrangements. They ask you to find a realtor, get it sold, pay the mortgage off, and keep the rest of the funds. If it's upside down and there's more owed on it, and this happened a lot in 8, 9, and 10, you do more on it than it's worth, then the mortgage insurance will pay the loss.
Right.
And it won't go against your fund. So if you've got say $500,000 in a 401k or something, then it will not go attached to that fund to pay the loss.
And your family will not be hit, and your estate will not be hit for the loss.
Nobody will. So it's what we call a non-recourse loan. It's already taken care of. It's got insurance on it to protect it, so it makes it a safe product. Um, but I have a lot of people have wrapping their heads around is the fact that it runs backwards from what a regular mortgage does, and trying to wrap their head around it's like, well, giving up on, I'm going to owe more on the house than it's worth, and they get worried about this part of it, and helping them understand that, yeah, that could happen. It's designed to be proactive from that, but I mean, but look at 2008, 2009. I mean, we took a crash so hard, everything went backwards. So, yes, in the worst case scenario, it can happen, but technically it shouldn't. Well, especially with inflation of 8, 9% like we got now, I mean, these houses are jumping so fast, it's not even funny. But uh, it's quality of life that we're at. Quality of life is living in your home. That is yours the rest of your life as long as you possibly can. That's the idea behind this thing. And that's what I like about it, because it's to help you stay there and finish out the rest of your life. You know, what's any greater than that? If there's money left over, then it goes to the heirs. Um, my personal belief is that's the way it should be. You know, if I die and the day I die, I spend my last $5, if Ray or Rod, as long as I had a good time, it was my money. If there's anything left over, the kids are welcome to it. If there's not, it is what it is. You know, but that's my personal belief. But other people, there's others that come from, old thoughts, old memories. Uh, I gotta leave my kids something. I have to leave my kids. I don't know why anybody has to leave anybody anything. I raised my kids. I taught them how to live. I taught them how to be self-sufficient. I done what I was, what God had for me to do. It doesn't say there that I have to save up $500,000 to give to them when I die, so they can go blow it.
I tell my kids it's not their money, it's my money.
Exactly. Exactly. Back of my horse trailer, I've tried to talk my wife into it several times. I want to put a sign on the back of it that says, I'm spending my kids' inheritance as I go down the road.
And Janet says, no.
No. That was a comment I got.
No.
That's good.
So
put that bumper sticker on there and see how long it takes her to realize it.
Bumper sticker. I was going to plaster to get the whole back of the trailer.
Okay.
I had a big wall to plaster.
That's hilarious. That's great.
That's going to put a big letters with a big exclamation mark.
Janet says no.
Yeah,
Janet.
she told me no. You heading out?
I am. I hope you guys have a great day. I have an appointment at 9, so I'm jetting out. I'm going to let Dennis finish this fabulous reverse mortgage information.
Well, and then do you have anything to add real quick before you?
No, he's doing a good job. It is a good product. You do have to be 62. I had a couple people texting me asking, so 62 or older. But I think, and that's the thing I love, it is to keep people in their homes. Mm-hmm. Like, there is a myth, and that's not on here, but there's a myth that, they want to take my home. They don't want to take your home, they want to keep you in your home. Yeah. And this is a tool not to be abused, right? And it has been abused in the past by people. It's not to be abused, but it's something to help keep you in your home, right, long term.
And it's good information that people might not know. Thanks, Autumn.
Have a good day.
All right, but Dennis, this is it's very valuable. And then for some reason, and I want to get back on the track here, but it sometimes gets a bad rap.
So this product has been developing since the first idea come out. The first product was 1962, and it got a bad rap because it was some guidelines that was kind of lucrative, a little wishy-washy, and people took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Loan officers, they make, every loan is a check. That's the way I look at it. Every loan I do is a check. We work commission only. We don't get big salaries. We can't just lay around and do nothing.
Right.
If you don't close the loan, you don't get a check. In most places. Now, there's some places, and the banks are pretty common. They don't, a lot of the banks pay salary, and then they pay them a little bit, but not like where all we do is mortgages. So people get greedy. Loan officers are the same way, and they take a look at the guidelines and how can I make it work because it's a paycheck. So after the crash and after all that stuff, then some of the guidelines got changed. They've been changed quite a bit over the last 15 years. It's a very safe product now. One of the worst bad raps was if both people were over 62, then you took the younger one off the mortgage, which took them off the title, and you put it in the other ones. They maxed out the reverse mortgage. When the older one passed away, the younger one didn't own the home anymore because their name wasn't on anything, and it had to be sold to pay the mortgage off. That's been stopped. They can't do that. That was probably the worst rap of all of them because there was a lot of women that thought they had their house forever and had a reverse mortgage on it. They were given this bill as sold to them, and their partner passed away. And of course, they had no money, and they had a $200,000 house, they had a $200,000 debt on it. Their name wasn't on it. So even if they could afford it, then they had to buy it because they didn't own it. It's not a refi then. It's a purchase because you don't own it. So then you got to have a down payment for it. And that's where the worst raps come. And the Wells Fargo got hammered really hard back in the day. So I was over there. We had a whole reverse division, had a couple of guys over there that done them. And yeah, Wells Fargo shut the reverse down because there was so much, and that was the problem.
So they had to revisit it and rewrite it and change the rules and everything.
Yeah. And they've been changed as recent as 2017, 2018. In fact, our world of mortgages, it changes all the time. Right. Rules, the guidelines.
Yeah.
Right now, they're getting leaner and more lenient because they need to stir the economy of people buying houses.
Right.
Buying automobiles, buying this, buying that.
Are the rules more in favor for the home buyer or for the lender?
So, that's an awesome question. So, I'll tell you a story, and maybe this will help. So, after the crash, the federal government decided, the senators and congressmen decided they knew more about mortgages than the mortgage world, the banking world. And of course, we got blamed for what they said. Make more loans for people, make them affordable, you know. So they kind of opened the door, and people took advantage of it. But anyway, so the Dodd-Frank Act came out in 2010. It's 17,000 pages long, which is law. It's mortgage law now. And it denotes what a qualified mortgage is. So you'll hear once in a while, I will talk about the non-QM, which is non-qualified mortgage. You have qualified mortgages. And it breaks it down, 20% down, and loan to value, and all this other kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, USDA, FHA, VA, none of them qualify as a qualified mortgage. Isn't that crazy? And they were all exceptions. But anyway, so I had a realtor call me one time, and we were talking, we were working on a closing, and I had to make some changes. We had to back up, had to be postponed because it didn't meet the Dodd-Frank time guideline type. And she made the comment, she says, tell me, she says, it seems like they don't care about us realtors. I said, girl, you hit it on the nail head. They don't care about you. The Dodd-Frank cares nothing about the realtors. They don't care about the loan officers. They don't care about the bank. They don't care about the seller because that whole law is wrote for the buyer. Everything in there is for the buyer. Nothing for anybody else. So that's your answer. It does not protect anybody but the buyer. 17,000 pages.
Oh, wow.
And it's and it still changes from day to day. Products change, and we're still every lender out there and the CFPB still trying to decipher some of those rules and guidelines that was put in there. But here we are over 10 years later, and we're still fighting.
Yeah.
So no, they don't care about it. They don't care about it. Only the buyer. And reverse mortgage just went that way too, and it should. I mean, this is a different product. This is our senior citizens. It should. And just like it used to be, you could take all the equity out at one time. Now they won't let that happen because family members and other people got them in there to sign it, and they drained the account, and it was gone, and the person sitting there with a reverse mortgage maxed out, and they took their funds. Yeah, there's some schemes out there that.
But you know, and you hate that, you know,
yeah,
and that ruins it for so many. You know,
It does.
and it puts the black eye on everything on this. But it can be a wonderful tool, and you're bringing good news for anybody that needs this help and needs this assistance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you know, you go to the doctor and say you're 66, 67, and you've got something you're not feeling right, and you're going to the doctor, and you find out you got $200 a month you need for medication, and you don't have it. Your budget, you've already stretched your budget, and there's no room for it. And if your house is paid for or pretty much paid for, hey, that's a good time to give me a call. Say, hey, I don't owe anything on my house. I just found out, I've got whatever illness I have. My part of my medication is $200 a month. I need some help. Then, hey, come on down. I can set you up. I can get you monthly payments and get it paid back to you so that you can make those payments. Maybe you need someone just come in once a week and help you clean the house. I can get you funds for that.
Yeah.
It's to help you quality of life and stay in your home. That's the key to it. Right. Quality of life and stay in your home.
And if somebody's listening right now, or somebody that knows somebody that this might really work to their advantage, just come talk to you.
Yeah, just come talk to them.
And see if it's an option. I mean, worst case scenario is you get to spend an afternoon with Dennis, and I mean, I should say worst, but I'm saying is like that it doesn't work for them.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? But you never know if you don't find out and ask.
Yeah. It's just like, so,
I didn't mean it would be worse hanging out with you, Dennis. I didn't mean that. I meant that it didn't work for them.
Exactly. Exactly. I've got 4 pages of this stuff. We started on, we haven't even got the first page done. But there's so much to this product, and there's so much teaching. There's nothing, that's what you need to do. You need to come in, and we need to have a conversation and sit on and talk.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the answers. I'll tell you exactly what I'm telling you here on this radio. I won't sugarcoat it. I'll try to understand what's your goal. What do you need? You need to tell me what you want, and then I can help you understand the product and how it will help you.
Yeah.
And you may go home and you may call me back a week later and say, there was something about such and such. I don't remember. Can you? Hey, okay. This was it.
Yeah.
It's a learning process because it is so different. It is so different in thought because you're so fixed all your life that you go take a loan out and you make payments every month and that loan gets smaller. Well, this time you take a loan out and it gets bigger and you don't make payments. And it's like, then everybody goes, well, when it comes due? Well, it never comes due till you're gone. It goes to the estate, If there's money there, it goes to the estate. It's simply sold. Bank does not own it. Bank never owns anything. It's like when they walk in, and I think we talked about this last week. Well, I give my car back to the bank. Well, the bank didn't see the car. Why'd you give it back? Why'd you give it to them? They didn't sell it to you. They loaned you money. Yeah. It's called a promissory note. You promised to make a payment of that. You didn't promise to give the car back.
Yeah.
So that's and when we talk about other loans and so forth, HELOCs, home equity lines, that's where we see a lot of people get caught because they're balloon. A lot of them are balloon notes, and they come due. And
explain some of those a little bit more in detail.
Okay, so home equity, and it depends. They've changed some, but I've seen home equities be 20, 30-year amortization, be interest only for the first 10 or 50, for the first half of it, and then you have to make a payment. I've seen some of the old ones, they were interest only forever. And then at the end of their time frame, the 20 years or 30 years, it's due. So you take somebody that's on a fixed income, and they've had a $50,000, $60,000 home equity, had it forever, and it comes due, and they don't make enough to refinance it and make the payments. And the bank's going to foreclose on because it's tied against the house. I've seen it. I've had them walk in with less than 30 days. I've had them walk in after. And my first phone call is to the bank, whoever the bank president is or whatever, can you please hold this off from foreclosure and give me time to do this?
I love that. I love that you're helping. This is wonderful. Okay, what a great service, Dennis.
And here's the thing about it. If they could just, some days, I wish we just had a little video camera in our office and they could see what we do here. Because technically the guidelines say that you cannot be late on any mortgage payment or HELOC mortgage. So if it's due and it's a balloon, technically you're in default immediately, and you can't do reverse mortgage. Now you ought to hear some of those arguments and conversations over the phone between asking the bank to hold off and not do it, and an underwriter saying they're in default, and getting letters from the bank saying we don't want to default on it, we don't want to foreclose on this, we're holding off the payments and doing the paperwork until they get refinanced. So you're trying to take black and white guidelines and make them great real quick, and kick and scream with everybody and get this thing done. It can get very stressful for everyone.
Sure.
And the banks don't want to foreclose. They don't want the house. They just, by law, they have to, when it defaults, for them to get their funds, they have to follow state law. And they have to file against it and go get it. If they make an exception with one person, they can make an exception with everyone.
Yeah.
So it can get pretty hairy sometimes.
Definitely. Yeah.
I don't want people to wait till the last minute. If you've got a HELOC, call us. I don't care how long you've had it. Call us. At least we can take a look at it and say, hey, you're okay for now. Or, hey, you only got 90 days. We need to do something.
Yeah.
Or you got 2 years. Or you got 3 years. You need to think about this. You need to make some decisions. But those are the worst. Those are the worst stories that I run into that I see anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the ones where it's under one cup, one side of the family, one cup, one half the couple. I don't see that very often. That's pretty much made its cycle that changed long enough ago.
You find a lot of people are confused with all this, though.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, like
Absolutely.
coming in and just trying to. I mean, because this stuff is not taught, and we know. I mean, you do not know this stuff, and let's say that you weren't on the actual loan, and then you're trying to understand what exactly is going on here. What are we even doing here? Or vice versa, maybe you took it out, but you weren't explained. Right, because we know that happens too, Dennis.
Exactly.
So, people do not take time.
They don't.
I'm sure you see that a lot.
Oh, all the time.
What did I get myself into? Do people say,
Yeah.
what,
Oh yeah, absolutely. So senior citizens do get remarried. So if one is on that loan and the other one's not, then when they get married, come and see it. See what your options are. Do you want to put the other one on there? Do you want to protect them? Or is it just, no, I ain't doing it, it's mine. And that's okay. But yeah, we see it all the time. I mean, it can be heart-wrenching. And we get back to the corner, there's nothing we can do sometimes.
But at least it's nice to know that you've tried. There's options. There possibly could be options.
There possibly can.
Yeah.
A lot of times this is a lot of screaming with being honest. You can see here on the radio, we get kind of wound up. But it's just because we've done it for so long, and sometimes you have to convince people. You have to rip at their hearts too. You have to, underwriters have hearts. Everybody wants to help them. Everybody in my business wants to help them. We love what we do, the majority of us, and there's guidelines that we have to follow. We just don't have much choice. So it's how do you make them work, and how do you work them around those guidelines? The worst thing they can do is it's already in foreclosure, and they walk to my office because my hands are totally tied. Totally tied. So don't do that.
Don't put it off.
Don't put it off. This is something you can't put off. This is not something I can make it go away. I can make it go away if I got time. If I don't have time, it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna go away. Your house gonna go away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love it. I love doing what I do. But it can be heart-wrenching.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's just like to know how to use your tools. It's almost like when you purchase a home, or let's say you take over a home, or you remarry or whatever. I mean, like you have a tool chest with all these tools, but you got to know how to use them.
Well, that's just it. And no one person can know it all.
No.
So a lot of loan officers, and I'm not picking on anyone particular.
No.
We've got so much that we have to learn that it's impossible to learn everything there is out there, and every tool that's out there, and every option, and every guideline. every little sub guideline and every little sub guideline. You know, and
And
with
they
our
change often.
and they change. It's the guidelines. They won't even print a book of it. It's a living novel on the computer. I mean, you get a notice from them that they changed this or they changed that. Well, you got to go read it, figure out what it is, and change, and then try to remember. I mean, that's the hard part. But with our office, at least, like Autumn and I, if we don't have a real good, a dead hard solution, it's like, well, maybe not, then we'll talk about it. Because her experience and my experience are different, and the loans that we've done has been different. And by sitting down and being a team like we are versus being an individual, there's been times people's come in and they said, or a realtor said, hey, can you help so and so? We were closing, ready to go to closing, and the lender turned them down. We don't know why. Well, they'll try to give us what they know, but it's like, okay, you're giving me what you've heard, but I don't know till I see the file. And then they come in and they sit down and we talk. And sometimes it's been as simple as somebody misunderstood something. Oh, you got this, and okay, we can take that, we can do this. We got a solution. And it's nothing against the other person.
No, right.
It's just they didn't think about something. Our underwriters, our senior underwriters are some of the best in the country. And it's nothing for us to email them and say, hey, here's my scenario. Can I do this? I want to do this. Can that work? Or how, and by the whole company being open to conversation, senior underwriters, processors, the whole entity, I mean, we all work the same guidelines. And sometimes they run into stuff, or they know stuff that we don't know.
Right.
They'll say, well, no, you can't do what you want to do, but you can do this. And then we'll go pull the guidelines. I mean, when we got 7 manuals and they're over 1,000 pages long, each one of them, it's like you can't remember all 7,000 pages.
Right.
And underwriters don't do every loan. Good underwriters specialize. They usually do like conventional and then like 1 or 2 of the governments. Okay. But they don't normally do everything because there's too much. There's too much.
Definitely.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
But here's the thing: is knowing to go and look for it, and doing the research and finding it out. That's where we just talked about prior to this, where we talked about paying somebody to do this, or and this is all free that you're doing, Dennis, to get someone until loan, right?
Yeah, it's just like the attorney. He says on the radio.
Yeah.
It's free till we win for you.
Yeah.
Well, it's free till we get a loan for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's the same scenario.
Right. That's a huge blessing.
And teaching people, I mean, that's the key to it. And that's the idea of this radio show.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Is to help people understand there's just so much. And like when you and I first talked, it's like, there's so much in this business, I talk forever. Mm-hmm. The show won't quit because there's so much stuff in there.
Right. Yeah.
And it does. And our life experiences, the stories we can tell, it's putting your heads together and figuring out a solution because every deal is a different story, it's a different personality.
Yeah.
And you've got to make it fit the guidelines. How do the guidelines fit every person?
And what's best for that individual.
What's best for
and in different lifestyles, people, different goals, different desires, different wants, needs, and
that's like, when they come in, one of the first questions, I need a mortgage. I've never done one, don't know what to do. And I don't know how much I can afford. Well, I don't know how much you can afford either. I don't know how you live. You got to educate me. So tell me a little bit about you. And I did this funny look. It's like, I need to understand. You go out once a week and eat. You go to movies. I can look on your bank statement and tell whether you got Netflix, TV and 3 phone bills and all this other stuff. I can figure that stuff out. But how do you live your daily life? How many times do you go on vacation? Do you have a budget? Then I can go back and say, all right, now, where are you comfortable making your house payment with tax protection? How much is your rent?
Yeah.
Then I can give them a better answer. But until I understand that, I mean, yes, the guidelines, every product has guidelines. Uh, FHA, you can go up to over 50% of gross income. I'm talking about gross income before taxes for the pay taxes. Um, so when you go to that level, you're really stripping it pretty tight, and people don't realize that. You know, you have some hard conversations. This is really where you're going to be. Is are you okay? Uh, I really worry worse about people that have smaller income than I do that have a big income. If you're making 150,000 a year for 200, whatever, I don't worry too much about it. Usually they're in a pretty good situation. Uh, it's the ones that they both make 20,000. It's like, okay, you're already there's 8% inflation. You're already strapped. And the phone calls I get, well, I'm paying $500 a month rent. What do you want your payment? Well, I don't want to be much more than my rent. That ain't gonna happen. Not today. I don't know what you want. In fact, a lot of them call because their rent was $500-$600 to $1,000 a month.
Right.
And then I get the ones with the regulars call me and say, "Oh, I'm in the hotel room. I got to get in my house." No, it's probably not the right scenario. I mean, they live in a hotel room because they didn't pay the rent, got thrown out. Not like they sold their house for $250,000, had it paid off, but this is somewhere in the middle while they find another one. But yeah, we just don't want to.
Right.
Now they've lost their house. They're looking at the hotel room.
Right. And to put a bookmark real quick, like the gas prices, we were talking about gas prices going up, everything, inflation.
I see it at 629 the other day. Look, we come back, so we went to Florida over the weekend.
Yeah.
I had a granddaughter that graduated.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And I had a couple of nephews, so we had a party down there for the end of the weekend. And back Monday morning. Yeah, get out and drive home at 629. I'm not that hard to say. Gas is over $5.
Yeah.
Now, luckily here in Salem, it's not quite that bad, but just down the road, 10 miles it is.
Yeah.
So this has taken a toll on everything. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know where the world's going to go. I've preached on here. Watch what you do. Stay on the road. Be careful. Don't get splurged. We went through recessions before. I'm not sure where this one's going to go. I keep talking about it similar to back in 97, 98, 99. That double-digit interest rates, and see that. But they still kept going. I don't see any reason for a crash, so to speak. I do know the housing market slowed down. There's not as much fights as there was. There's more houses on the market than there was just 60 days ago. So refis are going to drive up because the interest is going up. But with the cost of living going up, now we're going to see, and it's just a matter of time, cash out refinance. So they can take some equity out of the house to pay the most off. Then the conversation is, okay, I can help you here this time. You need to be aware, to make these changes, you don't go bring debt back up. So there's no room to take care of it again. And I don't want people to really refinance their debt for 30 years. But sometimes they need, it's a necessity to get on their feet, keep going. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. The next 6 to 8 months is going to be nice. It's going to be tough. Recession's here, whether they like it or not. The interest rate going up and the combination of gas prices and inflation. Like I said, we're seeing a slowdown there. So it's here. It's here. Whether you want, whether you know it or not. So the great presidents that made a comment the other day that we're in this great financial, a great economy. Well, they're in the world of trying to destroy it, I think. So I don't know where it's going to go. I think rates should have went up 2 years ago, slowly over a long period of time. But it's not a shock like it is now. It's done in 60 days, 90 days.
Yeah.
And then inflation took off. Okay, we'll see.
All right. Well, Dennis, so are we going to put a bookmark there?
Yeah, this is the bottom of this page. We finally got through the first page.
Yay! All right. Well, that's, it's going to be exciting.
So next week, let's see what the next week's looks. So my Medicare Social Security benefits will be affected by reverse mortgage. We're going to talk about that. And Reverse mortgage will use all of my equity. We're going to talk about that too. That'd be a tough one.
Those are some good teasers for next
It
year.
is. It is. And then another one here
Really?
says, I'll be passing on my big debt to my heirs. Thank you, myself. Reverse mortgage debt.
All right.
Let's
that'll
talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. That'll be some good teasers, good information. Definitely a lot to take in. And the bottom line is come and see Dennis or Autumn. And
Yeah, come on down to the square. We're on the square, 18th Public Square. We're open 9 to 5. If you need to meet after those hours or before those hours, give us a call. We'll set up an appointment with you. You know, the office phone number is 812-883-0670. My cell phone is 812-620-4021.
all right.
So come on down. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. You know, we'll get you started, help you understand.
Well, I love your availability. I love your knowledge. I love your information. And I really think it's such a blessing to have you in the community. And actually, I think it's such a great tool that we have the office conveniently located and available for people to help folks out.
So to kind of finish things off, celebrityhomeloans.com, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. You can go into there and plug in NMLS number 227765. It'll pull up Celebrity Home Loans. Everybody that's there, we're an equal housing opportunity lender. My NMLS number is 147022. So,
All right. Thank you, Dennis Baxter. And Autumn, Scott Hall was in earlier and she had to buzz out of here. But anyway, so stop in and see them for any questions. And don't worry. Just no, there's no stupid questions. You know, when you ask it, I
the
love
only stupid question was not asked.
not asked. I love that. Love that. All right. I want to thank our sponsors: Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare Center, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Upland, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Mitty Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, and Fox Foley Wealth Management. Happy Thursday. Thanks, Dennis Baxter.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Seven 365. We are WSLM Salem, Louisville, Corridor. My Country 1220 AM.
They have a lot to get done. You're listening to Network Indiana. I'm John Herrick. Wednesday night storms. There were several of them across the state, including in Rush County, where the roof of the Posey Township Volunteer Fire Station was damaged.
Firehouse has taken the majority of the damage. They said there was 2 residents that were structurally damaged.
State Police Sergeant Scott Keegan said no one was hurt. The town of Summitville in Madison County had to be shut down briefly because of the storms. All of this means the National Weather Service will be busy today. That's where Jason Puma is a meteorologist.
Thing that we saw really yesterday as far as damage and hazardous weather was wind damage, and today we're going to determine whether that was straight line wind damage or whether it was tornadic damage.
Well, some emergency managers already believe they were dealing with a tornado Wednesday night. Puma says today will be much nicer, and then rain returns on Friday. 2 teenagers in Kokomo being charged as adults in gun-related incidents. Police say a 16-year-old was shot and injured at a convenience store last month. A 16-year-old was arrested and charged with attempted murder and criminal recklessness. Then in June, police say the same teenager who was shot was found with a handgun at a